And this is Samantha.
With the power of we are here to switch it up and teach you about business, relationships, and how to not only survive, but make it in Los Angeles.
In each episode, we will have top influential guests from the world of real estate. We work hard,
we stage hard,
and we get it done.
The power of we.
Hey, Nicole.
How are you?
I am good, except it's been raining. Oh, and there goes my phone. Mm-hmm. It's been raining. I mean, we're not used to the rain here. And I mean, we got our hair done for nothing.
I know. It's crazy.
It's been a crazy time. But, we need that rain. I am so excited about today's guest. What about you?
I know. She's amazing. Introduce her.
So, we always have these, I'm going to cry, these guests on that, we don't know that well. And this one is like a sister to me. It's so crazy because she actually helps so many people. So when I had Nicole, there was no books. There was nothing to tell me. You just had to figure it out. But this beautiful human, Dr. Sandy Zanella, is a dedicated mother, compassionate physician. She's a mindful coach and trauma-informed family yoga teacher. She is the author of an award-winning children's book, Happy Yogis. But not only that, she now lives in Dubai, and she just got up and moved from California to Cabo to Dubai. And what does she do? She actually continues to believe in her passion and just goes from there and helps and does all these cool things. So welcome, Sandy.
Hey, thank you so much. I love you.
I can't believe you're here.
I'm so excited.
It's so exciting. You've done so much since I met you. I feel like you were like 5 when I met you.
Well, you inspire me. You know that. You inspire me. Nicole inspired me. Like I almost cried too because I love you both, and I really, I mean, I tell you all the time, your relationship, mother-daughter, is goals for me. Like my daughter is young, and I always think like, I hope I'm gonna have this relationship when Stella is old.
No, that's sweet. So sweet. Well, I remember when you were pregnant. And, I think what's really cool about you is that you're open and you were open to learn. Weren't you a doctor? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my background is in medicine. I am a physician, and I was practicing before I got married and I had my kids. Actually, when I met my husband, it's actually how we met, right?
Right.
I was working at the Brain Research Institute in UCLA. And we were doing research with children in sleeping disorders and anxiety. And although I was not even married, I knew that there had to be something to change in the way they were approaching it to mental health. I had no idea about mindfulness, yoga, anything, but I knew there must be something, a more holistic approach. And
which is so cool.
When I got pregnant with Stella, she's 8 now. I did yoga, prenatal yoga, because you remember we moved to Miami, and I didn't know anyone, especially moms. So I wanted to be like someone who was like me, like pregnant, and we go through this journey together. And this teacher, the yoga teacher, she was a doula, and she completely changed my lifestyle, my mindset, and I wanted to be healthier, and so that's how I shifted from Western medicine into a more integral and holistic approach, especially in mental health.
Yeah. I mean,
so for people who don't know, what's the difference between Western medicine and the holistic approach you're talking about?
Yeah, so it's more integrative. So it takes not just the body, physical, which is mostly when you go to a doctor, I don't know, in a hospital,
right?
You get a medicine and just
they just want to fill you up with medicine.
Yeah. So this a holistic approach is like body, mind, soul, like everything. It's just not the physical body. It's your whole as a whole. So it's spirituality, you know, all the aspects of your body and of your being.
Right.
So I really love that approach because we're not just this, you know, like
Right.
we're not just matter. It's like it goes beyond. So I'm happy with what I do now. I love medicine still, but as you said, like I'm so sad that a lot of times it's pills everywhere.
Yes.
Like prescriptions.
Exactly.
There's
And that's
so
the
much
problem
more
right now.
to
It's
do.
pills. And, you know, I always say, like, why don't they teach this in school? And then what do you call me one day and you go, I'm going to the school and I'm going to teach meditation. I was like, damn it, this girl's good.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be doing that every single day. You know, I mean, in college, what Nicole went through, you were there, what she went through.
Yeah.
There's nowhere for you to go.
Yeah, I remember when I was getting off drugs, I think Sandy was there.
Yeah.
And you were like giving me
Yes.
like cold compress and just things that weren't like medicine. And it actually helped way more than like Suboxone or whatever they give you when you're getting off drugs.
Actually, you helped her detox naturally. And I think that helped you come off it so much faster and snap back into reality, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have all these like ginger shots and I don't even know what you were doing, but I was like, just do it. Please help me
We
out.
are on it.
Whatever.
You know, because again, nobody knows what to do. There's no books out there. Like you should seriously be proud of yourself. Like there's so many young moms, they don't know what to do, right? And I mean, the older moms, they can give advice, but you're actually out there writing books, teaching mindfulness. You know, I mean, I can't imagine how many people come to you and say, what do I do? What's the biggest question people ask you?
Yeah. How do I start? How do I connect with my children? But let me just go back a little bit to what you were saying when we were with Nicole that day.
Yeah.
Because I will always remember this. Estella was
I'm gonna
like
cry.
2 probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like she was a
Yeah.
baby. She was probably not even talking. And I was telling Samantha, because Samantha, you were so worried, of course, as a mom, right? And I remember telling you, this is beautiful. Like, even though, yes, the situation is not the best as a mom, but look at how Nicole came to you instead of going, I don't know, somewhere else, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I really want to cry because this is something that if my kids, because we cannot protect our kids from making mistakes. This will happen. But my goal as a mom is like, I want Stella and Alessandro, my kids, to run to me whenever they're going to be in trouble, because they will be in trouble. But I just want you to acknowledge and you to know, and I will always tell you this, like, I really want them to have this connection with me and to say like, I can go to my mom, even if I you know, like
I think that's the one good thing I did is I always communicated with them. I always wanted them to come to me for sure. And even they wouldn't go to other people, but they would come to me, even if it was the worst thing and I would scream at them, but they would come to me. I mean, thank God, because I mean, as a mother, you have so much intuition, right?
I think because there was always a level of like understanding as like a human, not just like a mom like scolding you. You always had like a level of like, like you've been through a lot too, so you could understand what we were going through.
I can't believe I'm like bawling the whole time because this is like memories. But we've come so far. Now look at her. She's like a hot shot in LA.
God. I'm so proud of
I mean, she
both of
just
you,
did a
honestly.
huge house yesterday with this famous Instagram. And remember, I was like, what the hell is Instagram? Like, I know you're famous at it. So I was like, why do you do that? And she was all over the place yesterday. And I'm like, wow, I'm so proud of her. I mean, it's just incredible to watch the growth. I mean, and if you're listening out there, if you're struggling, you don't know what the hell's going to happen to your life, look at Nicole. I mean, this is in 3.5 years.
Yeah.
She's at the top of her game.
But it's because of like back to like the medicine, like instead of doing the Western medicine and trying to like drug myself to feel okay, I switched to like a holistic approach. And I think that's what changed my life.
And why do you think Sandy helped you? Because when Sandy was at our house, I did not know what to do. I was just like, oh my God, I was kind of frozen.
Do you remember when I came to the Panini Cafe?
Oh, kill me
and I was
right
like,
now.
I was like, I'm going to be very transparent. I was like overdosing on drugs. I had taken way too much Adderall that day or something. And I went to my mom and I'm like, for some reason, you all were like right across the street from my house.
Of course, we always were, right?
And I was like, I'm not okay. I couldn't speak. I couldn't like, there was nothing in my head.
I know, I
like
was
nothing was
freaking
happening.
out.
I couldn't remember my name. And Samantha goes, we need to take you to get brain vitamins.
I know.
I'm like,
I literally went to CVS, remember?
Vitamins?
I'm like, she needs like brain vitamins.
Everything.
Yeah, but I remember Sandy, like when I went back to your house and like she talked to me and I don't know what it was, but I think you talked to me in more of like everything's going to be okay. It wasn't like a shaming thing. Like I think most people shame you when you're like overdosing or like something bad is happening and there was no shame around it. You guys just made me feel like I was going to be okay. And that's like the biggest thing that I took away from it. Like I will be okay. And like, you guys were all there to support me. It wasn't like you have to go to rehab or I'm sending you off. Like you all like took care of me. And
there was like a container for you. Like I feel we both were like trying to be your calm. You know, like not losing.
Exactly.
Even the kids, even Davide.
Yes, I remember.
Davide, my crazy god brother, I call him. He's crazy, but he's like so supportive. They're like so supportive. And it's like, he was just saying to me, you know what, she's going to get through this. And then he goes that's when you guys started doing the video. Remember? She just came off drugs like 2 days later and he's like, let's go. We're going to do a video. And that's the kind of person I am. So I'm like, okay, we'll go into work mode.
You were.
Yeah, you guys helped me because I wasn't going to pass my class.
No, you weren't
I was
going
like
to pass
fail
anything.
out of school. I was not good, but like it's so important, like as you guys talk about as parents, to like support your kids instead of just like scolding them and sending them off. Like I think that's like everything.
And I think another thing that Sandy was teaching me is that, you know what, just act like things are normal and like we're getting her through and let's continue to do life.
Yes.
So what happens with these rehabs, and I'm sure a lot of people get help in rehabs, but for me and my kids, rehab was not the answer because we had to continue life every single day, right? We didn't have time to stop and get help for 5 weeks or 5 months or whatever. We had to actually live our life and do it at the same time. And so I guess what you showed me is that it could be in a calm way and supportive way, and we got this. And that's really my motto. You see it in my Elite Home Staging and Elite Maison. It's we got this, and we do.
Yeah.
We can do anything we set our minds to.
Yeah.
We don't have to take a drug.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
it
Sandy
is about
was able to like explain it in a way from like, I think from like a medical approach, but also using that holistic approach that made it like when you put them together, it just is, it's different, right? Like it's not like when you go to rehab or something, it's like, oh, here's a Suboxone, so you get off drugs, but it's another drug trying to wean you off. But instead you were like explaining what was happening and making me feel like, okay, this is going to happen, but I'm going to be okay. And like, I think when you connect like the body and the mind, it just like is way better.
Exactly. And remember we were all doing meditation together?
Yeah.
And it was like, it was kind of like a family.
And when did you start to write this book, the Yogis book?
So the book came when during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to write a book. And when my daughter was born, I was like, I'm going to write a book about like ABCs and fashion and this. Like I had all the ideas, right? But then, of course, I started practicing more like meditation and mindfulness and yoga, and the pandemic hit. We were all like in our houses, and a lot of people were writing to me. And going back to your question, Samantha, what is the number one question? Is that like, where should I start? How do I do it with my kids? And I was doing Zoom yoga classes for free, like for people to just cope with the anxiety.
That's amazing.
For kids. And the feedback was amazing, but everybody, they were asking for like an actual tool, that they could just run into and use it. So I was like, this is the time to write a book. So I published January 2021, right? When
I remember.
we moved, to Dubai. And yeah, it's just been amazing, like the feedback, and everybody loves it. I've been to schools reading the book, and it's just beautiful to see like how everybody accepts the book. Like it has positive affirmations. So I know, Samantha, you're huge on growth mindset and affirmations. You do it with the girls at work. I've been like to the work, and it's just for me, I feel like it was a need for me. Like I never heard like, you're beautiful, you are strong. Nobody told me this.
That's amazing. I mean, honestly, can you believe, like, I never had this book. I wish I would have had this book when you would sit down and eat your little poo-poo platter to give you the book to look at. I mean, parents have this book to, have them sit and look, because kids love to look at books and they see all this positive affirmation.
And I think kids are in their first, like, they pick up everything like that they take on through their whole life in the first, like, I think it's like 4 years or something, or 6 years.
5 years.
So it's so important that like you're changing like that industry to make it more positive for kids to like kind of put that in their subconscious rather than like these random stories.
I know. But let's just talk about the Zanella family. They are like the perfect looking family, right? And they always, when they travel, they have like the same shoes. I'm like, they're so damn cute that I'm dressing me and Fernando in the same shoes. But
we have much.
I know. You guys always have matching. So now Fernando's like, oh, do you want to get those shoes? We can be like the Zanellas. But you know what I love about your book? It's all about your family. And for me, everything I do is about my family, right? Yeah. And as you know, so it's all about Brandon, doing well and doing it on his own, and Nicole working really hard and, being a powerhouse like she is. And I see this book, and you have your beautiful daughter, and of course, Ali, which is my little yummy. I love him. Yeah. I used to sit him on the side and give him pretzels. I was his favorite auntie. But I mean, it's such a great book. And I think that if you're a mom, you need to really check this book out, especially because we need to put a lot more positive affirmations, positive vibes into these kids, because there's so much going on with the damn phone. They want to look like this. Even at 2 years old, they're on the damn phone. That scares me. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, screen time, it's terrible right now. Especially, I mean, there's a research that shows that girls at 13 years old, 80% of them, they already want to change the way they look, their appearance.
Wow.
Because of, imagine, like 13 years old, 80%. So it's huge. And why? Because of all these filters and all these things. They don't accept the way they see on the phone and on the mirror, So
that's so
it's
tough.
hard. It's hard to navigate this with children. Of course, we cannot avoid using screens.
Right.
But I think using it in a mindful way, like, okay, if you need to do some research for your homework or something, yes, but the best way is also us, like I think Samantha, you must know, like in parenting, modeling is the way we teach children. Like even if you tell them, get off your phone, like if you're on your phone, then they're not going to do it. So I think it starts with us.
That's a good point.
Yes. Well, my mom used to tell them at dinner, Harriet and my dad, they would say, there is no phones. No phones, no phones. I love that too. Yeah. In fact, when she has grandkids, when I have grandkids, I'm going to have my own rules for them. Trust me. Or I mean, kids. They're going to have rules. They're not going to be on the phone at all. And by then you're going to have a book, and it's going to all be about how beautiful I am. I can't wait for your next book. I want these people, I want people to see that they're beautiful, no matter if they're this way or shaped or color or whatever, we need to like, tell these girls. I mean, I even see it with my stylist. They're all so beautiful. And you know what I was thinking to myself when I was planning a meeting the other day? I was like, you know what? I'm going to start telling them, because I don't see that they see it like I see it, because we are so hard on ourselves, right? I'm hard on myself. And then I go, you know what? I'm 55 fucking years old and I look hot. Period.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah, exactly.
I started accepting myself at 50, and I don't want Nicole to accept herself at 50. She's insane. She better accept herself now.
Yeah.
But I think
Right?
it's really hard these days. I mean, I don't know when you guys were growing up, but like in my generation, like the influencers and everyone, like there's a certain way that's like beautiful and accepted. And like if you don't really look like that, and that was one of my problems I had in college. Like that's why I developed an eating disorder, because it's really hard to like keep up with what is on Instagram, and that's what's scary for like your kids, you know?
And you want to hear the worst part? When she went to school in Arizona, every girl looked the same.
They all look the same.
It freaked me out.
Everyone was like 90
I'm not even
pounds,
joking,
and
1,000
it
of
wasn't
them.
healthy, you know? But
It
like
was nuts.
everyone's competing with each other, and like especially with the sorority culture, right? Everyone's trying to get into the top sorority, and if everyone in that sorority is like blonde, like 90 pounds, you're not going to get in unless you look like that, right? So it's like it's very much like that culture.
Yeah, it's not healthy at all. So, I mean, that's one of the things that I really want to get out there. And, you know, college is very difficult for kids. What I watch my kids go through, I want parents to really be involved when their kids go to school, because it's not a time to just drop them off and say bye, because they're just little babies still. They need us like crazy, because there's all these craziness going on in college, drug dealers, this, that, trying to fit in, not knowing who they are. They need us more than ever, because they're out of our house. So that to me is so, so important, you know?
And that starts at a young age, as Nicole was saying. Like the earlier you start to build this confidence and to build this connection with them, the better, because they will always need us. And if they know that they can come to us, and if they know they're worthy, because even as a mom, you know, and I'm 38, and I do compare myself to other moms in social media, you know.
Right.
So it's always, it's everyone comparing, and it affects everyone. But I think it's up to us to also like take responsibility, and if there's a lack of self-worth, work on that, because we don't know what the other person is going through. And yes, some people might be really like just faking it, everything, but we cannot change everyone. It's better to shield ourselves, shield our kids, and teach them that they're worthy and they're beautiful the way they are.
Right.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they don't need any approval from anyone.
That's so true. I mean, you know, I think that this is a weird thing to say, but I really believe that I didn't know I was getting into staging, right? I didn't know I was going to be a big, huge stager, and I was going to open a store and all of that. It was just part of me. It just, you know, became part of me. And I can remember I like to give back to the battered women's shelter, and it was pre-pandemic. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stage these units because these women just got off the streets. And I go, you know what? Do you want to come and talk to them? And you came, and you didn't even know anything about it. And you like were talking to these people that were so hurt inside. Yeah. And I could see they really wanted to hear. So it's like, you know what? People, we don't even know who we're touching when we're touching it. I know that, you know, Ricardo came, and I just donated, you know, like $250,000 worth of furniture to them. And he remembered that, and he brought it up to me. So I wanted to tell you, like, you did it even when you didn't even know you were doing it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes we don't even know. And even if we can touch one person, right? Because then there's a ripple effect. This person is going to be happy, and then they're going to share their happiness or their whatever they're going through, their feeling. And so I think this is beautiful. I'm so grateful you invited me there. It was I still remember it was such a beautiful moment, and also seeing you doing that, you know, seeing this part of you, because I know the Samantha that like it's
crazy Samantha likes to work.
Exactly. Yeah. Getting everything done. You know, you're like exactly like Davide, my husband, and everything done, like nothing stops you. And then seeing you like going to this place and really like it's you know, helping them and sharing your story, empowering them, you with your words, you know, and with your story and what you've been through, like from zero to your company and your podcast, and you know, empowering your own like team of working
stylist.
in
Yeah. Well, you know,
Exactly.
it's, I think this is the fun part, honestly. I love doing this. You know why? Because I'm like today I'm learning so much about, you know, just different things than just work, you know, and seeing like what we have been through. Like I forget about this stuff with Nicole. I try to anyway, but it reminds me of like, you know what? Everyone listen, there's ups and downs in life, but you can do this. We got this, right? And you surround yourself with amazing people.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that's what's really going to get us up to the top. You know, of course we all want to be successful. Of course we all want all these goals, but it's the journey that we take. It's every single step that we need to enjoy because you know what? Life is short, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about Dubai. I mean, first you moved to Cabo and you make me go all the way to your...
And then Miami.
Wait, let's talk about Cabo. She moves to Cabo and we're going like camping. And
No, we drove like 2 hours
my
in Mexico.
God.
You remember?
The cops are following.
Oh my God. It was nuts. We went from
Oh my God.
Cabo rustic, like camping life to Dubai. I mean, come on. It couldn't be anything more
Different.
opposite.
Yeah.
And then you're like
You
the
guys were on,
hottest
like a
thing
ranch.
there. Yeah. So tell us about Dubai.
You have to come. You girls.
I
have to
know.
come, right?
I was
We-
so
we
close in
waited.
Paris. I was like, Paris, I was there a
know.
little long. The show was amazing. I was thinking, God, I
Yeah.
could have cut this short and hopped over to
Yeah.
Dubai. I definitely, we are coming. We
Yeah,
always say we're
yeah.
coming for sure. But
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. We've been here
Dubai
3
looks
years
like,
already.
What's the lifestyle
yeah,
like there?
it looks like so Vegas times 100
It is.
million.
It is like a big Vegas. Yeah, it is like a big Vegas mixed with Beverly Hills.
Uh-huh.
But thank God I don't get like that caught up in the bling and all these things because of course like I'm a mom, so I also like go to school and I meet like normal moms, you know.
Yeah.
So
And what
course,
kind
my
of
husband
school
is
does
in
the kids go to?
They go to a British school.
Like, how cool is that?
So-
They go to
Yeah.
a British school.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Next time you're gonna see them, they're gonna have like a little British accent.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm coming just to go to the school.
Sometimes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Stellar speaks like 5 languages now.
Yeah. They have Arabic, they have French, and English. The school is completely in English. Their teachers, all of them are British, but they do have like once or twice a week, like French, and of course at home we speak Italian and Spanish.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dubai, I love it. I mean,
Well, you're doing
I
a
don't know if
lot
it's
of
because-
events. Every time I turn
Exactly.
around, you're doing another event.
that's what I was gonna
And
say.
and
I
do
don't know
the
if it's
do
just
the people
timing.
really love it? I mean, are they like excited? Do lots of people show up? What is it like there?
Yes, they're very open to this. Like, I did not know what to expect, even from my book. I was like, what if they are like, this is woo, you know, like, and no, you don't know what is this religious or something. No, they're very open because 80% of the population here, or no, I think it's 90%, we are expats.
What's that mean?
It's Europeans or Americans or, you know,
Ah.
from all over the world, Asia.
Yeah.
Like we're in Asia, East Asia, but like, you know, Singapore or so everybody's traveled and everybody's like very open-minded.
That's
And
amazing.
the schools they follow, like if it's an American school, they follow American curriculum. If it's British curriculum. So they do all this. They do have like wellness integration in their curriculum. So this is where I come from.
Mhm.
Like they call me and I do workshops or I do like book readings where I read the book and I talk about a little bit about mindfulness and yoga to the kids. We do the poses and everything. But I think they're very open. This is where I feel like it's sometimes like it's LA in a sense because they are very like healthy and they want
Oh,
to try like, all
cool.
the new things.
Do you have
Yeah,
another
so
event coming up?
I just did one today and yesterday, and I have one on Monday.
And what
Nice.
kind of event? Is it for the book? Is it for mindfulness? What?
So I do, yeah, exactly. So now I'm doing circles for moms, like mindful circles, like a little ceremony, and we talk about like motherhood struggles, and we do mindfulness and meditation, journaling, manifesting.
That's
so this is
amazing.
my-
You're definitely coming
Yes.
to LA to do this. We need to do this when you're here.
We
That's
need to do
incredible.
something
Can you
like
imagine
this.
having
Yeah.
that?
Cool, yeah.
Instead of calling me,
Yeah.
Mom, come get my kid. That's what I did to my dad. Brandon was not sleeping. Come get him. I can't sleep. But oh my God, that's incredible. So I know that a lot of times you get DM'd or whatever you want to call it for, people have questions. How do they get a hold of you? How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah. They can certainly send me a message on Instagram, DM me, but I also have my email is linked on my bio, my website. So, I'm always open to explore, and especially with families who they never done yoga, never practiced mindfulness, and they want to start and they don't even know where to start or how to do it. So it could be like something they have questions. I can.
Is there a lot of people that do that, call you about that?
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't know how to start, but they do want to start, especially seeing my stories, how I do it with my kids. Like we practice mindfulness every day. They meditate every day. Stella, she's a yoga teacher for kids. She did her certification last year.
Oh my God. This is unbelievable. Yeah. How old is she?
8.
Oh my.
She's 8 now? Oh my
and
gosh.
She's doing mindful teaching for kids. Are you out of your mind? This is like the perfect family.
And Ollie, last time I saw Alessandro, he was literally with his calculator showing me like he's really good at math. The whole time he just had his calculator out.
Yeah, the circular one.
Yeah.
The blue one.
He's so cute. I know. I mean, that's a huge different way of raising your kids.
Yeah.
And how does that help their communication? Because I feel like kids have a hard time communicating their pain.
Yeah. So mindfulness, first of all, it teaches you like to self-awareness for kids, especially.
Yeah.
What I always tell parents is like, children are naturally mindful. It's us that we kind of like rob them this because, of course, I mean, you must remember like when you were walking with Brandon or Nicole, like kids, they just stop and literally, as cheesy as it sounds, they do smell the flower when they're walking, or they hold a rock and they will see it and look at it and feel the weight on their hand. Is it cold? And that's being mindful, just being present with what you're doing right now.
Wow.
And the best way to do it is
so cool. Wait, I want you to say that again because people don't really realize that. Say that again.
Yeah.
What is to be mindful?
It's to be in the here and now. Like, of course, the definition is being in the present moment without judging, and your thoughts, accepting your thoughts without judging and without thinking about the future or the past. But it's for me, the easiest way to explain is using your 5 senses, because when you use your 5 senses, you're completely there. You're anchored, right? Mm-hmm. So the kids are like, whatever they're doing, they are fully present with their 5 senses.
Isn't that incredible?
Like holding the rock and they're feeling the temperature. That's like touch. They're like looking at it, like, visual. So they could smell, they could like everything, like the shape. And so it's us. Okay, hurry up. We need to go to the doctor's appointment, or we have like to catch the bus for school or whatever. Mm. It's us that we're always rushing. And this is where they stop being present, because they love it. Every time I go to schools or I do the summer camps or anything, they really enjoy it. Parents always ask me, no, my kid, they will never sit down, and my child, he will never sit down because he's a tornado.
Right.
But everybody thinks yoga or mindfulness for children is the same as for adults, which is completely different. Like the approach is playful. So it's all about like music. It's all about games. Introducing mindfulness through games. You could use any type of game, like even Jenga, but if you're really like focusing and feeling the wood on your hands and the weight, like everything, you can make it a mindfulness exercise. So it's all about like playfulness. It's all about using the resources you have at home already and integrating this and understanding that it's just that, like, sometimes as parents also, like we it's hard to be a mom, that.
Yeah, it's
and
very
when they
hard.
Want to play, when they want to play, like, I want to play doctor, I want to play, you're tired, you have a lot of things to think about and do, from dinner, grocery shopping to paying bills. It's hard to be present.
Right.
But,
that is so true.
When you give them at least 10 minutes, this is all what they want.
Right.
10 minutes of your full attention. Put your phone away. 10 minutes every day. I guarantee that communication that you were asking before is going to change, because they're going to know that they're worthy. First of all, the message that you're sending them, I'm worthy, that my mom is leaving her phone away from me, and I'm more important than her phone, because nowadays kids think
that reminds me, like when I was doing coaching with Brandon, when I first did it with 12 years old, my kids have had coaching forever. And I said, Brandon, what do you want? Do you want to go to dinner? No, Mom, I just want you to be at home, make dinner, and just be here. And I never forgot that.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is what they need. Sometimes we focus so much on giving them this and that and the new toy and bringing them to Disneyland and all these things. This is what I always like. Me and David, you know David, he's like, Papa,
yeah.
my husband.
You guys go everywhere. Don't kid yourself.
No, but he always, because of him.
Yeah.
For him, it's like always he needs to
be going. He's like me.
Home. Yes, he cannot stay just home. And this is something that he's learning as well, because sometimes I tell him, we don't need to go anywhere.
Right.
We can just stay home, and play some board games or something.
I'm just learning that. You guys remember, I would never be at home. I mean, Camilla would laugh at me. Where are you? I know you're not home. I couldn't stay home, and I didn't know what it was. And I've staged 18 of my own houses, and they looked perfect, but I still couldn't stay home until Fernando, and he loves to be home. And I think what I did was I gave into it, and I realized, you know what, this is what's really important. Talking, cooking, whatever, taking walks. This is part of the journey. But it took me 50 something years. That's why awesome that you're saying it now to people, because people are so worried about the next thing, like me, But once you start doing it, I can tell you, it definitely calms your nervous system down. Like that's such great advice. I mean, wow.
And your body gets used to it. Like I always tell, like the moms I work with, okay, I know, I get it. We're all busy. And some of them, they would say, I don't even have 15 minutes to sit down. And I tell them, okay, just when you wake up, as soon as you wake up, just take 3 deep breaths. I'm not asking you for more. And of course, then eventually you'll feel better, and hopefully you will increase that from 1 minute to 5 minutes to 10 minutes. But the reason why I ask them to do it in the morning is because the highest levels of cortisol are when you wake up, of course, because you go from a sleeping state to an awakened state. So this surge of cortisol, which is like what gives us like the adrenaline, it's high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you wake up and you're already here, and then you look at your phone as soon as you wake up, then your cortisol levels are going higher. And then go from there during your day, it's going to be hard for you to come down.
That's why it's important to do it before.
That's why it's important to not get calls at 6 a.m. Wake up!
No.
Me? I never do that.
But I think it's really important, like in the morning, to take that time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're working a lot or whatever you're doing, or if you have kids or anything at all. But like taking that time in the morning, because that's what my life coach taught me. Like how you wake up is kind of like how your day will go. So if you wake up like stressed out, then the whole day is like, what the fuck is happening? Sorry to cuss, but or if you wake up like, okay, I'm gonna take this 5 minutes to just sit here and like everything's fine, like then you kind of like ease into your day.
Yeah. That's very true. Well, I know for a fact we're going to have no phones when you do have kids at dinner time. We're going to do mindful time, and we're definitely doing meditation. I already have a whole list.
But you already do it. So
I know I do it, but it's sometimes I forget. I'm like, oh, I'll meditate tomorrow, and then I'm like going on exactly what you said. I wake up and I'm like out the door, and Fernando doesn't really like to meditate, and I'm like, and Camilla says to me, so what? That's him. You get your ass down, lay down, and meditate, because you need to be the best you. So even if you have a partner, you got to do it yourself,
Yeah.
I like to meditate. I like to fall asleep at night to a sleeping meditation. It helps. And when I do, I sleep all the way through the night. When I don't, I wake up. It's the craziest thing. It really works.
Yeah.
Wow, Sandy, you're amazing. Yeah. Well, I cannot believe we got to have you on.
And where can we find your book?
Yeah, we're dying.
So my book is on my website, drsandysanella.com, and at Amazon.
Amazing.
Both. I have the bilingual version, English and Spanish, and English.
Oh, that's really important. That's great that you did both. I mean, so many people are going to when you come out. I know you did a book signing at Barnes and Noble. Hopefully, when you do another one, when you come back out, we'll really push you. We're so excited. You're amazing. You're such an inspiration to so many people, including Nicole.
Yes, thank you so much.
I mean, I can't believe you are who you are and you got to come on here. We love you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. And I'm so happy I was here. Yes.
Thank you.